Hi everyone. We are coming to very special days. The holiday of Purim. A very special Shabbos. We're reading, it's called Shabbat Zachor. You're reading the mitzvah of erasing Amalek. And as we know, the connection from Zachor to Purim, because it says that Haman comes from Amalek, so it's all combined together, the mitzvah of erasing Amalek, the Shabbat before, to Purim, that this is when it really happens, that Haman was hung, as we all know the story. Let's try to connect it and learn something from it in very short few moments. We'll learn the story in the Megillat Esther about after Haman was taken away. So we'll learn that Achashverosh, the king at that time, gave the house of Haman to Mordechai. It's a very known classic question. Haman, as we said before, comes from Amalek. And Amalek is a law that he's not allowed to benefit from them at all, in any way, in any shape possible. So how is it possible that Mordechai takes the home of Amalek, the home of Haman? He can't benefit from that. Very known question. And what will be the answer? The answer is yes, Mordechai cannot take anything from Amalek, means he can take anything from Haman. But in this case, the house of Haman was taken by Achashverosh. And because it was taken by Achashverosh, it's not anymore belonging to Haman. But because it doesn't belong to Haman, it belongs to Achashverosh. This is why Mordechai was permitted to take it. So in other words, it could be even Haman, Amalek. But if it goes through Achashverosh, that Achashverosh takes ownership, then Mordechai is allowed to benefit from this home. This is the answer in the literal way to give to this story. But his answer gives us a very deep understanding in the whole idea of Amalek. And what is the idea of Amalek? We'll learn in Chassidut a lot about Amalek. Amalek represents the idea of bombastic, the idea of ego, the idea that feels proud and great. When we say about erasing Amalek, fighting Amalek means through humility, fighting the ego, fighting to feel special and great. Nevertheless, we'll learn about Mordechai, that he did take the house of Haman. And what do we learn from this? That some things of Amalek we are allowed to take. But you know when we're allowed to take? If it goes through Achashverosh, when it goes through the king, it means it goes through God. And when it goes from Amalek to God, to me, then I'm allowed to take it. What is the lesson of it? What does it mean? Ego is a terrible thing. That's Amalek. But from the other side, we do find a pasuk. It says, "Vayigbar libo b'darchei Hashem." You have to feel proud, great when you do Hashem's ways. Doesn't seem like Amalek to feel proud of yourself, to feel great. So we'll learn from the story of Mordechai, yes, that we are allowed to take his trait as long as it goes through the king, it goes through God. And what does it mean to us? Is the ego of Amalek, if it goes through Kedusha, if it goes through Hashem, we are allowed to use it. And on the contrary, we should use it. And that's the beauty of what we're learning from this Parshat Zachor. Yes, from one side we have to erase Amalek, but from one side, if we can use that trait of ego for positive, for being a proud Jew, Hashem says, I'm giving it to you, you can use it. So being humility is one way of serving Hashem. But there's another way of serving Hashem, and this is through being a proud Jew. And this is the same ideas we learned before with Mordechai. Mordechai used the house of Amalek, the house of Haman, when it goes through Achashverosh. We are allowed to use ego. Egos are a very strong word. But to be proud Jew, even though as a smell, as like a trait of Amalek, it's not a problem. Use it because Hashem gives it to you. He takes it from Amalek when He gives it to you. So therefore, the lesson that we'll learn from all this is, a Jew has to be always proud. A Jew has to feel great. We have to be happy that we in. As we learn about Purim, we have to be always happy people. Why are we happy? Why we feel great? We are the people of Hashem. Yes, it smells a little bit of bombastic. It smells a little bit of ego. But it's not a problem. Don't think it's Amalek, because God took this away from him and He gave it to us. But when He gave it to us, He gave it to us to use it in the proper way. So the ego, the way Amalek uses, is got to be erased. But the being proud, the way a Jew uses, is a beautiful trait. We have to be proud. We have to be proud that we are Jewish people. We have to be proud that we are kids of Hashem. We have to be proud that we have such beautiful holidays. And this proudness brings us to be the great, beautiful Simcha. The Simcha of this coming Shabbos and the Simcha of Purim, as we said before, La Yehudim Aita Ora V'Simcha V'Sasam V'Kar. And we conclude, Kain Tiyeh Lanu, should be to us, should be moments of beautiful Simcha. So all of us, let's be proud of us being a Yid. Let's be proud of being a Jew. And let's take this with a great level of Simcha and joy. And let's have a big l'chaim this Purim to be the Simcha Poretz Geder. The Simcha should break all barriers amidst Hashem. And we should have the real Simcha of the Simcha of the Gula. Have yourself a good Shabbos and a beautiful Purim.